Why are wild campers so secretive about their spots? Let's talk about it.
It's best if the people like that don't even come here.
So welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. If you're new, welcome. I'm Stephen, the Geordie Wild Camper, and I'm out in Northumberland. Shock horror. And I'm heading to a hill I've camped before, and hopefully going to meet a few other like-minded folks on there. So a couple of these guys you've seen on the channel before. I'm going to use this as a bit of an opportunity to kind of gauge their thoughts on gatekeeping spots, revealing spots, you know, what is the right etiquette, and what should you do? I don't know. I think there's been a lot of talk. I get a lot of stick sometimes for that, and I don't normally name spots, but I do leave breadcrumbs so people can find their way if they want to use maps and so forth. But why do you think we're so secret about it? Well, we're definitely going to discuss that a little bit later on. There's some pretty dramatic fog coming through in between some of these clouds over there. Humidity is super high today. You can feel it, very, very little wind in the air, and the low hanging fog. Yeah. Whew. I'll tell you what, me and Mark are hitting it a little bit lucky here. Some of the cloud, I'll spin it around and give you a little showing, but there's like a wall of cloud in front of us, and then you look down the Cheviots, you've got east down west of Tor, but it's looking good. But we're heading up left, and we're heading up to the top of it is a hill fort, I believe, but there's two cairns up there which we're going to have a little look at. If you check one of my older videos, you'll see I've got a solo up on there. Right, Mark's just pitching over there. I'm just finding somewhere remotely flat. I'm in a mid-shelter pyramid in the lightweight pyramid. It's the sill version, so it's going to get wet and neat. But we will see. Went for a nice stealthy green colour. Well, I was going to pitch next to Mark up there, but some of the spots, they weren't the greatest, if I'm completely honest. However, this is a spot I've been to before, so I don't think there's any harm in pitching here. I know it's flat, and it'll be decent for a mid. So let's get pitched up. You've seen us out in some lightweight gear before. I picked this up in the second-hand market, relatively cheap, and I've had a duo from Lightweight, and they were excellent. So this is a nice stealth green, and I'm just debating whether I'm going to be putting an inner in, or I might just go with a bivvy. So we'll find out. Yeah, hopefully you can see us alright. I left my door open, and I've got my pillow wet, so that's fun, real fun. Lads have just turned up, but obviously it's lashing down at the moment, so I'm just going to get the rest of my stuff set up, and then I'll give you a look around the setup. We need to have a little chat, and we'll go from there. It's a bloody nightmare trying to keep everything dry. We're in the clag, so it's really thick. Wet humidity, but I'll give you a look at the setup. So this is the Pyrom Duo. This is in their sill version. I do have the ultra version if you've seen that, but inside I'll give you a little look. I'm using the A-frame setup here, and then I've rigged up my own little system at the bottom to stop from slipping. And then inside I have got, I think this is the Katabatic gear bivvy, along with the Thermarest Boost 650, which is getting its real first test tonight. Xtherm, and I've also got the trekker chair, just in case I want to sit up, because I have a feeling it might be a little bit of a long night and my pillow's soaking, so might not even use that tonight. I think you've got the universal sound of a flex tail. That's like the setup sound. It's like white noise for campers, I think. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to get these guys' thoughts on what they think about revealing locations and the stigma, I suppose, that goes with gatekeeping. So we'll see how they get on. Let's see what tents we're rocking. I think I can see a van go. Aye, they're all just getting set up there, so I'm going to let them crack on. I think I'm going to grab a quick snack and chill out a little bit, I think. Now that everyone was set up and sorted, it was time to head along and have a chat. Right guys, I know I mentioned a little bit earlier on in the video, the title of the video probably gives it away, but I wanted to discuss with some like-minded folk what their thoughts are on giving locations, naming locations, because there's a bit of gatekeeping going on and people do get a lot of stick for maybe naming locations. For me, my personal opinions are, I certainly, especially in Northumberland, tend not to name places that aren't well known. I know I do have a Facebook group, but that is not for naming spots. That's for like-minded folk to share, get ideas, you know, meet up and do that type of thing. So, lads, what's your thoughts?
Me personally, I don't like giving locations away because I think it has a tendency to bring not so nice characters coming around and just trashing the place, really.
Yeah.
Having fires, just leaving rubbish all over. There's a famous crags that's not too far away from here, where's a prime example of people leaving bottles hiding behind bricks and all that. And really, it's best if the people like that don't even come here.
Well, so what's your thoughts on having, I suppose, like social responsibility? For me, even if someone was to name something, if someone was to go up, it is their responsibility. You know, at what point is, I suppose, a social media influencer or someone who posts YouTube videos responsible for someone else's actions? Do you think that's a fair comment, or do you think differently?
It's a fair comment, but unfortunately, the way society is now, they're just not bothered.
Yeah.
They're just not bothered.
Yeah.
It's the likes of the good people within the camping community that look after things.
Yeah.
And you're always going to get these outsiders that come in and not bothered one little bit about anything in their life, just as long as they're happy.
All right, thanks for that. I think that brings onto a good point. Certainly, the Northumberland Wildcampers Facebook group is, I suppose, for education purposes as well. So my thoughts were, the more people who are aware of the guiding principles for wild camping, the more responsible they be, and you know, you're obviously going to get that certain percentage who aren't going to do that. But we'll grab the other guys' thoughts if that's all right. Mark, being a social media influencer that you are, you know, you might have a different opinion.
No, Bob hit the nail right in the head there. He is right. I'll take this head torch.
No, you're good. You're absolutely good, mate.
So the way I look at it is probably like yourself. If you're heading up a hill and you name it, then I feel as though I'll be responsible for people going there and trashing it if it gets trashed. I feel as though it'll be on my head because I've given that location away, whether it could be someone else or not. If I've mentioned it, then I feel as though I'm responsible. So that's the reason I don't do it. There's a lot of like-minded people out there like myself and like you, but when you are people coming into it, I mean, we've all got to start there and learn, but some people still think fires are welcome within the hills and they're not. So I don't want to name them unless it is a very hard hike and a bit of a challenge, and then I think, you know what I mean, it's a bit of a reward and not many people will go there. So that's what I do usually. So where we're camping today, I won't name it. It's in my home sort of place of Northumberland like yourself, so today it won't get named. But if it is a hard hike and it's a big hike of 2 hours plus, then I will name it, because you know, you've got to put a bit of effort into it. But no, I feel responsible for places getting trashed. I've named it, and as Bob said, there's a very famous crags which we've all been to. Steve, myself, which was a lovely spot, but touching on my Northumberland wild campers, I don't like it on there when I do see people mention places. As I feel as though as a whole we're all responsible for that group. So yeah, it's not a nice thing naming them, as we try to look after them for all of us. So yeah, I'm not happy with naming them. No,
that's a very, very good point, and certainly in a lot of my videos, I tend to leave breadcrumbs. So half the fun for me is finding places,
Definitely.
using YouTube
I've said
videos.
that all along.
Put the effort in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get a bit of a buzz watching people's videos. Go on OS Maps, get yourself on Google Maps, Google Earth, and when you find them, I feel as though you get a better reward from camping in that spot because you've actually grafted for it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Even though it's somewhere you've never thought of, or you would never think about going finding that spot, even doing just a recce to find it without a wild camp, it is so rewarding. So yeah, that's what I recommend doing. Is go out, do a recce before your wild camp, and the reward is much greater than just getting told where the spot is. Definitely.
Right. Dave, how do you feel about it, mate? You might want to knock that head torch down a little bit, can you?
I thought it was off.
You thought. There you go, mate. Perfect.
Probably the same myself, actually. I tend not to name places anymore. When I was naive, when I first started doing YouTube, I probably did. But then I realised the implications of that. You can get all the charvers and that coming up and having the fires and leaving the litter.
Yeah.
And I've seen that firsthand, fire pits and rubbish, and unless it's somewhere blatantly obvious, like some, Windy Gale or something, everybody knows where you are there.
I get that.
So there's no point in not naming that, but somewhere like where we are tonight, probably not a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
So it's great to keep it to yourselves. It might sound selfish, but it's protecting the place and making sure if you come here in the future, it's going to be hopefully empty when you get here.
Yeah.
And not overrun by riffraff.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
With like-minded people like ourselves, it's fairly okay for to share it.
Yeah.
Because you know the character, you know the persona.
Yeah.
And they know they're going to look after everything.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Which is okay.
Knowing the person, I think, I'm trying to put that there, Steve.
Yeah.
Knowing the person, like what Bob said, definitely does help because you know what they're like, where, and meeting new people just on Facebook and that, you don't know who people are. You really don't know who people are these days, and that's not being cruel or selfish towards other people, but we're all different in this world, and we haven't worked each other out yet, so you need to give it time with other people.
Yeah. Some very, very valid points there, I think, and I put the feelers out to you guys. What do you think? Drop a comment down. Let us know what you feel about it. Yeah, we've had to retire to the tents because the weather's just so bad, man. Red alert Aurora, but there's clagged in, really low cloud base, meaning it's pretty difficult to see anything. But great to meet some like-minded folk. So thank you very much for letting me come out and join you guys. So if you haven't seen Dave's channel, I'll link it down in the description. So head on over there and have a watch of his. But yeah, I think it was interesting to get everyone's opinion, and it was fairly unanimous, I would say. A lot of people want to keep things quiet, and for the reasons that they've stated. I thought I'd make this video because I'm only a small channel, I'm not a big channel or anything like that, but I have had my fair share of stick, and normally I tend not to give the locations out unless it's really well known. I try to keep it pretty stum. I've got the Northumberland Wildcampers group, which is not for sharing locations, it's for sharing ideas and kit and helping others, I suppose. But hopefully, this sheds a bit of light on anyone that watches this who goes out. Make sure we're respecting the locations that you're going. I took some time to reflect on last night's conversations, and there's so many other reasons why we don't reveal locations. Things like preservation of nature, overcrowding, vandalism, and the respect for local rules and landowners. I feel like it's a delicate balancing act. I love to show locations and the wild camps that I go on, but there's also a need to protect them. Well, good morning, guys. From pretty overcast. A very, very relaxing night's sleep, actually. I'm going to say that's probably one of the best night's sleep that I've ever had camping, which is strange. The Thermarest Boost sleeping bag was top notch. The ability to open the zipper up to create more room was mint, and obviously the side arms as well. You can actually put your arms through and do stuff. Just really comfortable. I've always been a keen advocate of quilts, but maybe I need to go back to sleeping bags. So watch this space maybe. But nice views down into the border ridge there. You can see a few of the big tops on the Scottish side, and then quite a few of these that I've visited before. Yeah. But I'm just gonna get a coffee on and just relax. It's and enjoy it being clear, because we didn't get any of it last night. So yeah, beautiful. Wind's picked up now so slightly, and the wind chill is making it pretty uncomfortable, if I'm honest. You can see it's probably only 10-15 miles an hour, but even still, Cheviot shrouded in clag as usual. But I think it's time to just get packed away now, get comfortable and packed away. That is me all packed away, ready to start making my way back down to the car park. Firstly, big shout out to the lads for letting me come out and join them on this, because it was a good camp. From another perspective, I'd love to get everyone's thoughts on what they think about gatekeeping, what they also think about sharing locations, and what's best for the wild camping community. Certainly for me, to end on it, my final thoughts are I'll not be sharing any spots where they're not well known or they're fairly precious. If it's something where I've been a million times and it's a really well known place, then yes, I might share that. The Lake Districts is slightly different for me. I will share locations there, but when it comes to Northumberland and some of the southern uplands, I don't think that's going to be something I'll be doing. Although you can use some of the breadcrumbs that I leave, get on OS Maps, take the enjoyment of finding the location, and if you do find it, respect it. I'll catch you on the next one.